Hi you all and welcome to Draw Along with me. Today we will be turning the illustration of a Kawaii Witch or Wizard that we made in the last tutorial into an animated GIF here in the Procreate app for iPad. So grab your Apple Pencil and your iPad and let's get started. Now for this first part, let's start by going first to the gallery. Click on the Select button at the top and tap on your artwork. Click Duplicate, tap on the X here, and you can rename these. This one was our illustration, and this one is going to be our animation. Right now they're exactly the same, so it didn't matter which one you chose. I'm going to go ahead and tap on the one that says animation on mine. Here we're going to combine our layers so that we can make one object from the witch or wizard and whatever else you see here. As I mentioned in the previous video, I myself am not going to animate the individual pieces, like for example the hat, the hair, the dress, and the sticks. Mine is going to be more of a flat animation, almost like a paper cut stop motion. But if you'd like to animate the individual pieces, just make sure to keep those elements separated. All right, click on the Layers panel, and here what we're going to do is merge everything together. To do that, you can pinch everything individually one at a time like that, or you can swipe right on everything. And then tap Group. Click on this little V shape to close the group. I myself prefer this method as opposed to the other because sometimes when we have different blending modes, they'll be affected when you go to merge layers. So hopefully this will work here. Tap on the new group and click Flatten. To me it seems like nothing changed here, which is what I wanted for this. So now I can, if I want to, tap here and rename this. Click Enter or Return, plus symbol to add a new layer. Click and hold this, drag it beneath the witch or wizard. Tap here to hide the background color layer. Tap here to rename this to sky, for example. Or if you do buildings or something like that, it's entirely up to your preference. Click on the color circle and choose your sky color, whatever you like. Drop it into that layer, and definitely zoom out and try different colors to see what you prefer. Alright, I just noticed that on the drawing before, instead of using my brush tool here, I accidentally erased it. So that's not a problem. If something like that happens to you, just tap on the Layers panel, jump over to that layer, and then either color it in manually or drop the color in to those spaces. It looks like everything else, I believe, is good to go. Click on the Layers panel. Here we have Sky and Witch. Zooming out just a little bit, I think I'd like to add in a couple of clouds as well. I prefer to have some of them in the back, perhaps, and some of them in the front. So I'll tap here on Sky first, plus symbol, using this color with the brush tool on Calligraphy Monoline at 100% opacity and whatever brush size. Go ahead and draw in some little clouds to the background. So mine are going to be a straight line on bottom and then just kind of these like bumps here at the top, almost like Toy Story. And maybe I'll use my eraser tool to round out some of the edges. So there's one little cloud. Clicking on the witch plus symbol, I'll add another cloud, perhaps right with the brush tool, perhaps right about here. Once again, I'll just do the little bumps, kind of like Toy Story, and then I'll drop the color in. So the witch will be flying in from here and going that way. So maybe one more behind the witch. So down here, plus symbol, and I think perhaps a little bit of a bigger one back here. So brush tool, flat line, hide the witch for a second if you want or need to, arrow tool to move this where you'd like it to be, and then add your sort of cloud bumps. Then of course shape it up a little bit. Turn on the witch again if you want or need to. I think in the front I'll add another little one with the brush tool, just to give the idea that she's kind of surrounded by clouds up here. Eraser tool, round out the edges if you want to. Click on the layers panel, find each of these, make sure they're in the place that you'd like them to be for basically the duration of the animation, because they'll be going like this. And my witch is going to be coming in from over here, so I think it should be all right. Maybe I'll switch these so that hopefully it won't cover her up too much. Move all your pieces around until you like the placement, and we'll keep going. Might make this one just a little bit smaller on uniform. If I hide the witch and show her, I'll see more about where I want my pieces to go. Click on each of them and rename them to whatever makes sense for your picture. All right, so I've just gone 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I think that will work for me. All right, you guys, go ahead and swipe right on all the other layers to highlight them blue and tap Group. Click on this little V shape to close the group. It says New Group, and you could change this if you want to, but it doesn't really particularly matter all that much. Here's our sky in the background. It doesn't need to follow with everything else, and these are the pieces that are going to move. So I think we've got everything ready. Let's go. Click on the wrench, Canvas, Animation Assist. Here at the bottom, you should have a new panel. Tap here on the color that's going to be the background. Tap it again and select Background. Click on Settings. Here it should be Loop. Frames per second is pretty fast at 15. Let's bring it down to maybe 8. We'll see what this does later. And leave everything the same for now. Click on the Layers panel. On New Group, swipe left, tap Duplicate. Click on the bottom New Group. We're going to work in reverse. Go ahead and open this up by clicking here. First, tap on the Witch. Click the arrow tool. If you need to zoom out so you can see a bit more clearly, definitely do. And here on Uniform, without touching any of the blue handles, push her toward the left. If you want to make her just a little bit smaller here in just a minute, we'll use these, but you probably don't need to do that quite yet. If you want to turn her just a little bit, hit the green bar up here at the top, and we'll keep going like that. I like to kind of make sure that some part of the top part of the handle here is touching kind of flatly almost on some part of that one. So hopefully it's sort of smoothly goes along when we go to animate. Click on the layers panel, and for each of these, each of our clouds here, we're going to move them kind of backwards. So she's going this way to go backwards, and they're going this way to go backwards. So swipe right on each of those to make them all blue. Arrow tool. And for this one, we're just going to push them toward the right. Great. Click on the layers panel. Tap on this little V shape to close that new group. And we're just going to repeat this process. So here on this new group, swipe left, tap duplicate. Now the middle one is highlighted, so we'll actually tap down. Click on this to open it up again. Click on your witch, arrow tool, push her toward the left. You can rotate her a little bit if you like as well. If you want to, you can make her a little bit smaller, but I think we can hold off on that for now. Maybe in the next one. Click on the layers panel, tap on one of the clouds and highlight the rest of them blue. Arrow tool and then push them toward the right, trying to follow along their line. Click on the arrow to get out of that. If you need to change your onion skin opacity or frames, go ahead and do that now. So opacity will make it lighter. Frames will make it to where you don't have as many. I just made mine a little bit lighter so I could see a bit more clearly. I think we're done with this part. Let's go ahead and move on to the next part. Click on the layers panel. Make sure to tap here to close that group. You can tap it again, swipe left, duplicate. Make sure to tap the bottom one first, open it up, grab your witch or wizard, arrow tool. Maybe this time make it a little smaller, and maybe push it a little bit and turn it with the arrow a little bit. Undo if you don't like something and just try it again. So again, I'm trying to make sure that this lines up in some way here, but without making it too extreme up here. It looks like it kind of does. Oops, so I'll go ahead and move that there. Maybe tap it down a couple times. Good. Not quite at the top actually, so I'm trying again. If you totally don't like something, just go back, arrow tool, and try it again. Make her a little smaller, or him if it's a wizard. Push it toward the left. Use the little green bar if you want to. I think that's working a little bit better on mine here at this part. Layers panel, tap on one of the clouds, swipe right on all of them to highlight them blue. And by now I think you've figured out this process, so perhaps in the next one I might not go through each and every step with you, but I will explain it now. So arrow tool, and we're pushing it to the right again, making sure to follow the bottom edge of the clouds. And I think that's about good for mine. So layers panel, close the new group, swipe left, tap duplicate, tap on the bottom one, open it up, get your witch or wizard, arrow tool, on uniform, make them just a little smaller, push them toward the left, rotate them if you want to with the little green bar, and make sure it lines up in whatever way you're trying to make yours line up. Layers panel, find your cloud, swipe right, arrow tool, and push it toward the right. Oops, but make sure you follow the bottom part. That matches a bit better for mine. Layers panel, click here to close the new group, and repeat these steps until you have yours completely removed to this side of the canvas, and I'll do the same. Alright, you guys, if at any point you want to test your animation, go ahead and tap play. Ah, there she goes! It's looking a little bit funky, and maybe we need to slow things down just a little bit. So click on the settings, and maybe bring that down a little bit. Maybe 6 or 5%, and let's keep going. pause. Make sure to click on the Layers panel, get back to the bottom new group. Swipe left, tap Duplicate, tap the bottom one, and keep on going through the process. All right, you guys, when you've gotten all the way to the end and you only have like a little bit left, definitely swipe and duplicate, and then just go ahead and clear this one. So tap on it and click clear. That way you have an empty space at the end and an empty space at the beginning. You could even tap and flatten this one if you want to. I'm not going to do that myself, but if you want to, tap on it and flatten it. Go ahead and play to see where it's at. And it's looking pretty good so far. She has this kind of like throwback here where I think maybe the wind is starting to get to her, but I think we can kind of tilt her back in the other direction and have her kind of fly off in that way. Great job with this so far. Let's keep going. Tap pause, click on the layers panel, scroll all the way to the top, click on the top new group, swipe left, tap duplicate. The top one's already highlighted, wonderful. Open it up, click on your witch or wizard arrow tool, and then push them kind of toward the right, whichever way you'd like them to go. So mine is going to be here. Click on the Layers panel. Tap on a cloud and swipe right to highlight the others as we did before. So instead of going this way to the right, we're going to go to the left arrow tool and push them over to where you think they should go. Make sure that the flat part follows along this edge, and then we'll be ready. Layers panel, close that, swipe, and duplicate. The top one is already highlighted again. Great, this will keep happening as long as we're going this direction. So open it up, click on your witch, arrow tool, and we can move her toward him or her to the right. You can tilt the bar whichever way you want to. I want her to kind of rock back the other direction. And I'm still trying to follow something kind of like linear. So I'm trying to follow the broomstick on this end now. Layers panel, tap on one of the clouds, swipe right on the others, arrow tool, and push them to where they need to be for your picture. Layers panel, close this new group, swipe left, tap duplicate, and repeat this process until your witch or wizard is off screen in the opposite direction. Make sure to do whatever you want to, though. If you want it to get bigger this time, do that. If you want it to get smaller again, like it was small here, got big here, small there again, like he or she is sort of flying through the clouds, definitely do that. All right, proceed. Alright, again, when you get to the end of your animation, go ahead and make a new group, and you can merge these two together and clear both of those. So now we have an empty space here. Let's test it out. Push play. You can pause and you can change the settings to make it faster or slower. You can also do this while it's playing. Now the only problem for me is that I'd like there to be clouds in the empty space. Click on the layers panel and find whichever one of yours you would like to hold or pause in place for a few seconds. So for mine, it's probably one of these. Maybe the first one actually. So go ahead and find the blue highlight here at the bottom, tap on it, tap it again, and bring the hold duration up 1 or 2. Go ahead and click on the layers panel, find the one beneath it, tap on it, tap it again, try 1 hold duration. Click on the layers panel, find the one above it, tap on it, tap it again, and bring the hold duration to about 1. Let's test that. And it's kind of cool to have her pause just a little bit there. Click play and test the frames per second to see what you like. Ah, she's so fast. Thank you so much for joining me today to turn your illustration into an animation. I hope you enjoyed these last 2 tutorials. If you complete one or both of these tutorials, I would love to see your results, so please share them and tag me so that I can find them. Otherwise, see you all next time. Happy spooky season!